We're switching over to live. Now everyone can hear us and see us. All the wonderful, lovely people. Actually, no one's here yet. Wonderful Void. Hello, Void. Hello.
I love the Void.
It has been. First of all, I hope everyone enjoyed this last full moon. It was just visually stunning. I don't know what it did for you in your life. I hope it didn't blow up anything in your life. I genuinely hope
it
that
was
for
like
you.
really big. It was like a really big transit for my life and everybody I knew.
For me as an Aries, as I think because it was a Hunter's Moon in Aries, I believe. I felt pretty good. I felt pretty solid. I actually felt emotionally stable for a little bit. I just really what I took from it was just visually stunning moon, like this last one, and it felt, I don't want to say prophetic, but maybe prophetic is the only word I can kind of think
different.
of. Yeah, it felt there was a mood, there was a vibe.
It was like a transit we went through or something.
Yeah, you know, there are smarter astrology people than me out there, but it was a good moon. I liked it. Good moon, 10 out of 10. But with that,
Wood moon again.
Wood moon again. 10 out of 10 wood moon. No, it's kind of brought like a lot of it's brought a lot of, I just feel like I'm going through life at breakneck speed, I think, right now. Like after Pagan Pride, things are supposed to quote unquote slow down, calm down, but they haven't. Some of it is me, right? You know, I take on things, I do things, but I like to do things. Yeah, it's been breakneck speed. But last night we were actually we did a fun thing last night. We were part of a haunted house. Our second year doing it. It was super fun. It's like a little community thing that a friend of ours puts on for their community, and yeah, it was a wonderful time. Rue did everyone's makeup at record speed.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when he says everyone, literally everyone, when I'm talking about a cast of, let me see. Let's see if I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least
almost 10.
8.
Yeah.
Almost 10.
Nearly 10
people, including myself and my husband, in the span of 6 hours.
Yeah, and that's
not
also
even 4 hours.
Yeah, because really, as we were setting up tents and chairs and all the other things that go with the party. But it was a really good time. I love doing community shit, and it was funny. One of I think it was Ralph. Ralph was talking to me, and they were saying that they were talking to someone at their work, like one of their customers or something, saying, "Hey, we put this Halloween thing on. Me and my people, we put this thing on for the community." And the guy was like, "Oh, that sounds so cool. Like, how much do you charge for that? Like, you can make a lot of money." And they were like, "No, like we don't charge. Like, it's just like a free little thing. You come, you go through our little haunted house, and there's like a candy bar. There's face painting, a candy bar. There was a photo booth, and what else am I missing? The readings.
Labyrinth.
There was 2. Yeah, there was a labyrinth. Yeah,
alcohol,
food, and bar. Yep.
Free.
All of that for free. No charge for the food or drinks or anything. So, and this guy could not wrap his head around the concept of free. What? Why would you do that? And we're like, for the community, dude. Like,
it was even, oh my god, that's so funny that you said that. Even Rob, we talk about Rob a lot. Rob, the head of Orglava's not head of Distilfink Ship, whatever. We all know Rob. I was doing his makeup, and as I did last year, and I love doing Rob's makeup because I get to paint his long beard white, and he looks like Gandalf. And he was so excited that I had fake blood this year, and he's like, "Spray me with it, baby!" And he looked fantastic, and he was like, so how much are they paying you to do all this? And I'm like, ha ha ha, Rob, you know nothing. He's like, she's at least giving you something for all the supplies. I'm like, no, I was gonna buy this stuff anyways. And this is what I love to do. I love to do makeup. That is my passion. That is my, and it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. It was such a great time. I had so many good scares. In particular, there was these 3 teenage boys who literally almost destroyed our house because they crashed. They literally crashed into the wall and like knocked down some paintings.
I couldn't believe
it
was
so
like
good.
one of your first or second groups that came through. It was like these 3 dudes. They're scared about everything. They were even looking at me like, because I was the butler, I'm the greeter, so I'm like the soft greeting and like, oh, welcome to the manor, blah blah blah, and they were looking at me like I was gonna like jump at them or something. But Rue was great as the haunted portrait. Your scream was good. I forgot to tell you that yesterday. You've got a good scream. It's good.
Oh,
I'm surprised you have a voice today.
I
honestly shocked.
know. I this last lady, I swear this what could be described as a Karen and a Bob. They were just neighbors. They were people from the neighborhood, and we had our dinner break at 8 o'clock. We opened the haunted house at 6. Right? Yeah, it was like whenever it got dark is when we opened the haunted house. And so I'm starving, and scaring people is hungry work. And we finally take our dinner break at 8 o'clock, and I'm shoving a hot dog down my face and some tomato
left
pie.
of the hot dogs.
What's left of the food at this point? Everything was gone, candy gone, booze gone. Like it was such a fantastic turnout. And so we're sitting at a table with this Bob and Karen couple, and they're like, oh, I guess we should do the haunted house. And I'm sitting there in full makeup, in full costume, and I'm like, it's not open right now.
We are the haunted house.
We are the haunted house, and it's not open right now. Give us
funny.
like 15 minutes. And when this lady came through, I got her the first time, and then when she came through the second time, she screamed at me and then got upset that I didn't scream at her. And I was like, well, if you scream at me, like
what am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to react to that? You know where I am. You know where I'm jumping from. But it was it was just a great time. Fantastic time.
Yeah, it was a good time. And I love the kids that run through multiple times, right? Like you see like the same group like running through. You're like, guys, what are you even in here for? Like, you're not even getting scared anymore. You're just here because you just want to run around and be in the way. But yeah, that's kids. So yeah, it was a good time. Oh, Kai's here in the chat. Hey, Kai. Sounds like a delightful time. Yes, a delightful time was had by all. Actually, right, but I do have a sort of witchy sort of divination tie-in to this. So the night before, we did this yesterday, so this would be Friday night. Friday night, I have this oracle deck that I picked up from, I don't remember where, but I had an oracle deck, and it's called the Earthbound Oracle. And so I just picked up this deck, and I was just like so curious, and I was like, hey, I said, hey, what's going on? And I pulled a card out and I plopped it down, and the card said travel, and it had this like little Nordic, the name of the damn symbol, I should have probably looked it up before the podcast, but it's like the wheel looking one with the little spokes on it. It's like some Nordic kind of symbol, and it had that on it and said travel. And I was like, oh, you're right, like we are traveling tomorrow. We're traveling to see our primarily heathen group of friends. And yeah, you're right, we are doing that. And then so I said, what the hell did I say? I was like, and what are we gonna do there? Like, what's gonna happen? And it was like dance, performance, something of that nature was the card. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna put on a show. That's absolutely what we're gonna do, pretty much. And then I said, well, how's it gonna go? And it was achievement. And it was absolutely right. Like, it was just like an amazing turnout. So, it was a fun little sort of magical tie-in to our haunted house experience. Oh, Ashka's also here. Hey, how are you? Welcome. So how have you been, Sophia? Have you partaken in any haunted houses or spooky things, or what's been keeping you occupied?
No, I've been putting out fires in other people's lives and helping people out with shit. It's that kind of season.
It's that season, the different kind of wildfire season. Yeah.
Yeah, at least they're not my problems for a change. That's a nice change of pace.
That is true. But sometimes I find it, I don't know, sometimes it's more difficult to watch someone go through something, especially when you're not like in the best of position to help them, You're like, I can, but I can't.
I mean, yes, but I'm good at helping people with shit.
Yeah.
And like some of it was like helping them with magical shit too. So it was like,
that's true.
Shit that's up my alley. And like honestly, like real talk, to me, I always like wanted to serve community and help in that sort of sense, like on the scale of like practitioner titles. If I had to put myself into a box, I'd put myself more towards like the cunning folk end of things, like I'm here to help people. And like I could do a little oppositional magic if I need to, yeah, but I'm not like, it's not like my main purpose,
It's kind of what Scott says usually about their practice. It kind of identifies more with that cunning folk kind of label or whatever, that identity.
Yeah, I ain't here for the drama. I ain't here for the witch fights. I'll help people out because I've been through more than a few.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't looking for nothing myself,
I think that's what keeps me away from posting a lot and like trying to engage on social media. Is like I'm not trying to draw attention for the sake of attention. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to, like, I want to have genuine discourse and I want to like connect with people and build community.
Yeah, we want to have conversation and share knowledge and like make something that's valuable to the community.
Right, like I just don't want to drag each other for our books, like it's not really what I'm about. But yeah, that's why I end up doing more volunteer work, which does not gain you fame usually or notoriety, but it gains you a lot of, honestly, a lot of fulfillment. So I recommend everyone volunteer at something. Your local pagan pride, always.
Love that.
Or even just like give your time in different ways, even if it's not to an official organization,
Yeah, I mean, there's a million different things you can do to help people. I was editing one of our episodes this morning. I actually got one out. I did it. I edited an episode. I think it's 141 is where we're at. And lost my complete train of thought because we're talking about something in that episode and that I have now forgotten because I looked at the chat and completely got derailed. So that's fine. What were we talking about here in the chat? Oh, okay, like when you have when you draw the card that just like defines the moment, yeah. You draw judgment and then a legal case comes to an end. Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Your life's been weird. We're getting to that Halloween time of the year. I feel like there's always a pickup in spooky activity around this time of year.
I agree, and we've kind of.
Has anyone had any like ghost stories or?
The veil is thin. I can't help myself.
Yesterday around the tarot tents, there were these black, like sort of sheer cloths draping around the tents, and they're draping all over Rue in the wind. We were like, the veil is thin. It's a fun experience. Have I had any spooky things? Yeah, I think we kind of talked. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast or not. Maybe last time, but we have been seeing a figure in the house. Human figure. That's all I got. Not malicious, not this, not that. It's one of those, like, out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure of a person. I assume it's a dude. It looks to be a dude. And I have no idea. Happened a couple times.
Let's call him Daniel.
Damn, Daniel.
No.
Yeah, I know that's your dad's name.
No.
We'll not use that name. But
God, I hate when I do that. I just guess somebody's parents' name or like
right.
some sensitive information like that, and they're like, ah. I'm like, fuck, sorry.
Massive
No,
flocks of
it's okay.
crows. Yes, Kai. We've also seen massive flocks of crows in our area.
What is up? Like, seriously, though.
Mm-hmm.
Over here, it's more like massive flocks of geese flying out because it's getting cold.
Yeah, we've seen some geese, but we've also seen the crows hanging out in large numbers. So I don't know if there's some like bird warfare about to happen, or I'm not really sure. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
There's always bird
Maybe
war.
you're about to get bombed from orbit.
All the starlings, crows are gonna team up or some shit. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's always bird war. There's starlings versus there's starlings versus crows. Starlings versus pigeons. Starlings versus
starlings
robins.
versus
Starlings
the world.
versus starlings versus starlings. Everybody hates the fucking starlings.
We should start a sports
team.
I'm so
fucking tired.
Called the Starlings. What'd you say there, Sophia?
I didn't take my meds. That's why I'm so fucking tired.
Med
check. Take your meds, bitches.
Yes, med check if you haven't.
I haven't.
But it seems to be like cataclysm season. Like shit's going down for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yes. It does seem that there has just been sort of like wave after wave of shit hitting the fan for a lot of people.
I wouldn't be surprised if Saturn is doing something bad.
I don't know.
Saturn's like karma and like repercussions of your own actions.
Yeah, because it's all about like taking that time
and things that
to
are
come
unavoidable.
back and taking that time to come back and bite you in the ass.
So like, if you've really been working on your shit, Saturn's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't been, oh boy.
Oh, Kai was saying in the chat, you've been seeing flickers of movements too. Yeah, it's that's basically what it's been. It's just been flickers of movements. Definitely was like a figure, but again, I really have no idea.
You can't skip over. I'm fucking dying over here because of Kai. Release the birds of war. And then all the bird emojis.
Release the birds.
I fucking love you, Kai.
Love it.
Oh, pardon me.
Oof. There's the birds of war right there. Wow.
Another thing. Another thing I've been doing is dealing with the kitten.
How's that been going?
She's only about a year old now. So she's full of piss and vinegar still. She's getting to the point where she kind of has the adult body, but it's smaller. She's not in kitten body at all anymore. And she's very zoomy and always wants to play, you know?
And getting into everything.
And she's a monster. She attacks everything and will chase it around, and like if she can, she'll pick it up and carry it in her mouth like it's an animal she killed. She's so fucking funny. I love her. But yeah, I've been just
fucking asthma now. Bastard. Decided that he has
this is the rant I was gonna go on. So like in regards to helping people, it can sometimes seem like it's a chore or a pain in the ass or like it's hard. But realistically, it's an absolute honor because honestly, a lot of what I've wanted to do in my life is to help people in those regards with like magic or like with difficult situations, you know? I feel like that's really one of my callings. And how do I word this? When somebody calls you or asks you for help with one of those situations, it's really a big honor, right? Because get out of here, kitten. Because like they could have asked a lot of people, but they're relying on you, you know? They're not reaching out to just be like, oh, hey, I want something, need this out of you. It's like important, you know? It's kind of like an honor to show up for somebody when they're going through that shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So when people say, you know, I can never repay you, I always tell them, like, you already have, because like all I've really wanted to do is to be able to do this stuff for people, and to get to have that opportunity is really all I want. So here is an equivalent exchange. I hope it works out.
Mm.
I want to help people in the end. I don't think charging would even really be reasonable for me.
No, I mean,
I know some
especially
people do
like if
charge for their
you're
abilities, you know.
right, yeah. I mean, it really is all dependent on how you, on your moral compass, your ethics, your worldview, your traditions. Like for example,
Hell, even your
our
powers work.
right, like our friend Jim, we talk about Jim a lot on the podcast. He officiated our hand fasting. You know, he did our hand fasting for us. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. And I remember, you know, asking him, I was like, how much do you charge? You know, I'm willing to, that's always me. I'm willing to pay for someone's time. And, you know, he was saying, you know, in my tradition, we don't charge, like, I can't charge for something like that, like a ceremony like this. I don't charge. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. But the way that I showed my appreciation is I still sent him a fee. Like I sent him, I forget what it was. I sent him some money for it. And he was like, hey, I can't accept this. And I was like, I know, but use it for South Street Circle, like printing costs, you know, or something like that. So it was still like me saying, like, I appreciate you for the thing that you did for me. But you know what I mean? So like there's ways to support each other, right? Which is always nice. Especially if you have people that are involved in like multiple things, you know. But repaying someone is not always of a monetary value too. Like sometimes we just default to money because it's a really easy system to kind of quantify and talk about. But there are just some instances where there is no amount of money. Like if someone's in like a, hey, I need you to come rescue me situation, right? Like you have a car and I'm really drunk at a bar and I'm fucked up and I'm not okay and I'm alone. My friends ditched me, whatever. Can you come save me? And in a way, you're like, yeah, it's an honor to be asked that, because that person trusts you in their moment of their desperate hour of need, right?
It is a sign of like somebody truly respecting you or admiring you or care, like really feeling like you're the person who's in their corner, you know, and it's an honor.
It is. Yeah, I've been on the other end of calls like that in situations like that. But it is also very taxing on the person, you know. It's an emotional, like, after you've been
Well,
through
that's
like
why
those
you need to
sleepless
understand
nights.
as the person who helps, you can ask for help too. And you need to build a network of people who can help you in a similar way that you can help other people. So like I can ask Scott for help with shit. I can ask my other friends with help for shit, you know, because none of us are like an army unto ourselves. But you know, if you build a network of people who care about you, you'll eventually all come together and like be able to do some pretty wonderful shit, you know. And you'll lean on each other when you're down or when you're dealing with something that you can't handle. Well, I'm that you can't handle, but that it's better off if somebody else deals with. You know what I mean? Like
It's all about filling your role in that system, you know, whatever role that is. And sometimes your role changes depending on if people leave that system or that group, or if people, you know what I mean? Like it all, like nothing is static, you know? I think that's just sometimes like we get a little like we're stuck in our roles, like this is our thing, this is what we do, beep boop every day. It doesn't have to be that way. Like I kind of was talking to Rue about this earlier. I was like, I don't mind my job, you know, what I do, this and that. It's not the worst thing in the world to spend hours doing. Is it fulfilling? No. But like every couple years I get itchy in my brain. Like I'm bored of this thing that I'm doing. I would like to do something else. You know, like I want to try this now, but I don't want to take a pay cut, and I don't want to, and I also don't like the searching for a job, the interviewing, the hiding it from your current employer that you're looking for another job and you're taking off all this PTO, being really suspicious. You know, I don't like that. I don't enjoy that whole process. It's way too emotionally taxing for me because I have other shit to worry about. So that's why like I've just kind of gotten my brain to a point where I can kind of coast at this one. But yeah, I would love to just be able to do something different like every so often, you know, change it up. I get bored.
Yeah, that's the ADHD, I feel like. Not saying you have it, but that's definitely with me.
No, thank you, Sophia. Thank you so much for saying that, because I swear, I have known this man for almost 7 years now, and I've known him for longer. Actually, I've just been with him for 7 years, and if I've ever seen a clinical case for something on the neurodivergent spectrum for this man and for myself, it's just they don't diagnose girls in the 90s. That's just what happens. But everything he does is because of his neurodivergency. I'm noticing. I'm like, oh, good Lord, I'm just going to start cooking meth because it's easier to gain access to that than it is Adderall.
I know.
Holy.
Yeah, I'm definitely like a
gonna
textbook.
Go full Walter White.
Right. No, we like having a house that's not exploded, so we will not start cooking meth.
It's literally the only reason.
Other reason,
now the shed. Now the shed,
which is pretty close to the house, and
we don't
other people's
cook,
houses.
No meth around here no more.
That's how we'll financially support the podcast. The drug empire. Terrible.
Yeah.
No drug empire.
No, I would just. Speaking of drug, no, I would just like to say, I would just like to point out the reason I'm so wackadoodle is that we had to go to my mother's before here to drop off gummies because my stepmother is an addict. No, I'm joking. I love her. But yeah, they're just in a lot of pain.
Addicted to them gummies.
They're addicted to them gummies. And just catching up on life and everything like that. And we actually smoked, vaporized, I should more accurately say, the plant that one of the plants that my mother actually it wasn't one of the plants that my mom was growing. It was one of the plants that the neighbor who gave my mom the seeds was growing. And when I homegrown shit just hits differently.
Made with love.
Oh, I am. That is all.
I know. Yeah, it was a good time. We were pretty relaxed coming into this episode.
Yeah, I'm a little tired because I had a fire that was up super late 2 nights ago because a friend of mine supposed to be leaving town but isn't now because crises happen. Life is life. And we stayed up pretty late for that one because I had to like transit a far distance to get home. Because the subway shuts down past a certain period. Go Toronto.
Yeah, same.
And
same here.
then last night it was another party that I had agreed to go to a while ago because a friend of mine is moving. And she was doing just a clothing swap, which I was planning on going to anyways because like friends from clothing swap rules. Like I brought 2 dresses and then I got some clothes that worked for me and like some shoes. I was very happy. And like there was a lot of stuff there. So like yeah, it was pretty cool. I definitely want to go to another one of those again for sure. And bring more stuff that I don't wear and give it to people and take stuff from that I will, because like yeah. But like yeah, and I also worked a lot last week and it's like been early call times and shit and just it's tiring.
I know, we're all like running at max capacity, you know. Like when do we get a break? That's what maybe that's the calling, right? Is like maybe it's organizing something like Hallowed Home. Like a retreat kind of thing. Maybe that's what it
But when do you get a break?
Never. I die.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, your idea of a break is more work. That's not a break.
See, I'm like, oh, right, like a break. So, like, make something nice for people to go to so they can have a break. And then, exactly, Sophia, then someone asks the question of, and then when do you get the break? And I go, oh. It was like at Pagan Pride that one year where I didn't eat. I forgot to eat because I was very concerned that Lexa had the vegan pizza because she's lactose intolerant, like severely lactose intolerant, like allergic. So I was like, we have to have a vegan pizza. We have to have a vegan pizza. We have to have a vegan pizza. I also enjoy vegan pizza because I'm lactose intolerant a bit myself, so I will enjoy. But I just didn't eat it because I was so concerned about other people eating. I forgot to eat. Me. Yeah, it's
I also will eat a good vegan pizza because I am quite lactose intolerant, but I will also just eat a regular cheese pizza because like I tell everybody, lactose intolerance doesn't mean you don't eat dairy anymore. It means you just choose what you suffer for.
That's very true. Yeah. Exactly. My limit's like 2 slices, like 2-3 slices, somewhere around there, and I'm like, ugh, can't do any more than that.
That's what Lactaid was invented for. I have Lactaid in the car. I call it Cartaid.
Cartaid. Yes.
So I can go to Nifty 50s or get a milkshake whenever I damn please.
Which is often. I think if you get off of a diet of milkshakes and smoothies,
I would.
Well,
I would.
Funny you mentioned forgetting to eat, Kai. Yeah, I do that all the time. Especially if I'm absorbed in a project or if I'm like I'm going to edit like 5 episodes and I'm not allowed to eat until I do this. Or because it's like if I go to eat, then I've diverted from the path. I'm off the trail. Now I'm thinking about food, and I'm not thinking. Then I can't go back. Like it's hard to transition back to the thing, and that's a case for both of us. Sometimes when we were building, actually, Rue is sitting at the vanity that we built. We are not the best at building things. Oh, yeah, there you go. For anyone watching in video format, Rue is showing the vanity. It's just a very cheap, simple black vanity that we got from Target. But Rue needed a makeup station, so we built this. I forget where the fuck I was going with the vanity thing. I can't remember.
We didn't eat.
Right, we didn't eat. See, this is my fucking brain.
So this was actually...
I know I smoke, but I don't smoke that much when we fucking record. I really don't. This is just me.
Last Sunday, it was exactly last Sunday.
Yes.
I was like,
we recorded,
we had woken up early as we normally do, and the vanity had arrived on Friday. Yeah, Friday while we were at work. We were busy on Saturday. I was like, I want to get this vanity built. The the trouble started when the words, "Do you think we can build this in under 2 hours before we record?" No, we did not build it in 2 hours before we recorded. We built the shelves. There's about 5 shelves, as you could have seen. We built those in 2 hours. And then when we finished recording, proceeded to spend at least another 6 to 8 hours building this vanity, only possible by the power drill that my mother gifted to us. Because when I'm telling you, this thing just came in a flat box, like 100-pound flat box, and we built it.
Is it
strong?
Perfect?
Like, no, not even close.
Does it hold? For now.
I'm sitting at it. I've done my makeup at it, and it hasn't collapsed yet. But I was like, we didn't eat. Literally, Beard wound up bringing us food because he's like, we've been in the basement for 5+ hours. Are you okay? No, we have to finish this, or else we will never finish it.
Yep.
And he just wound up bringing us food down to the basement while we finished constructing this
the
beautiful
neurodivergent
vanity.
feeling that you don't need to eat until you realize, oh, you very much do.
Like, I was literally like, I think my blood sugar was just dropping. I was just like fading. I was like, you gotta screw this thing together. And my body's like, eat. I'm like, no, never. You don't deserve it yet. You're not done.
It was definitely a test of our marriage that we survived, I'm proud to say. And I have a beautiful vanity now that I can do my makeup at and record at, and it's just wonderful.
But also eat. It's important.
Remember to eat, folks.
Right, exactly. You get to that feeling where you feel like you're gonna pass out, and then you're like, oh, right. Yes. It is now time to eat. Actually, I'm starting to feel that now.
Like, I had one time where I was talking with a friend, and I was like, I don't know, not feeling so good. I might have to go. And they're like, okay. And then I like ate, and I'm like, wait a minute, I just needed to eat. I'm fine. And they're like, oh, okay.
That'll be me. Actually, Scott got to witness a little bit of my hangriness. We ordered a fucking pizza. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks. I can't remember. Last time they were here, we ordered a fucking pizza. Very basic, simple fucking thing. We order a fucking pizza from a place that's local. They fuck up the order. They send it to our old house, even though we have our new house address in there. They just assumed that whatever. So they send it to the wrong place, and it takes 2 hours for this food to get here, I think. 2.5 hours. All said and done.
3.
It took
we
3
ordered
hours.
At 6:30, and it arrived at 9:30 while I was on support chat with Grubhub, fucking fainting.
Yeah. And I just feel, so it's like...
But it's funny because that restaurant is now closed.
Yeah, we've learned.
It has a big old violation sign from the city of Philadelphia. Speaking of, you know who else has a big old violation sign right now? GoPuff.
What? Why?
They're not paying their taxes.
Oh, they're not? Oh, maybe you should do that. Try paying your taxes. Government giving you problems? Try paying your taxes. That's hilarious.
Meanwhile, 95 North is shut down across the entirety of Philadelphia for goddamn he who shall not be named.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mr. Rump is in Philly area. No, the whole thing is he is having a shtick where he is going to fry some fries at a McDonald's up in a suburb outside of Philadelphia. That's his thing that he's doing here today. So they shut down the entire highway so he could get up there and fry some fries.
Also conveniently, right next to this McDonald's is a Trump store. Yes, I said that correct. There is a Trump store. It is one of the many stores that has been opened randomly under covert LLCs, and all they do is sell Trump gear. It's
yep. Stupid. What were you gonna say, Sophia?
So I got an idea. Theoretically, let's say somebody asked you to break some curse or some magic that somebody put on them.
Okay.
What would be the paradigm that you would not be happy trying to deal with? What would be the paradigms where you'd be like, that's way overblown?
What do you mean exactly? Like if someone thought...
So, for example,
yeah,
I saw people way overblowing how powerful Lovecraftian stuff is.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sometimes though,
and when I told them that you could deal with it not too difficultly, and they were like shocked, like their eyes popped out of their head. But it's like, it's just Lovecraftian. It's like a guy's personal paradigm that came about at around a certain time. It's not like this is based on like objective universal fact or whatever. It's just a reality bubble that you reinforce when you play into it like that.
Right, and so I think that's like a little bit where psych model gets really reinforced in this particular situation. Because it's like, you could have a person, right? So you say to that person, hey man, listen, like Lovecraftian magic isn't any more or less powerful than any other type of magic, right? And that person could say, oh, okay, cool, you're more knowledgeable than me, and I feel much more comfortable and more relaxed about what we're going to do. I feel better. Or you could have a person that kind of doubles down, right? They're like, oh, no, you don't understand. Like, this shit is bad, and it's blowing up my life, and we got to kill it with fire. Like, we got to bring out the big guns. And I think in that moment, you kind of have to. Like, you have to meet them where they are in their mind and with what they're dealing with. So, because magic...
It depends.
Yeah, like, it really depends on the situation. But if it's something like you're doing a working with them, or if they are watching you do a working, it may be one of those instances where it's like you may want to, I don't know, maybe make it feel bigger than what it is. Not saying lie to someone, not saying put on a show, but like maybe make it feel better. Like if they're stuck in that, oh god, this stuff is killing my life, this, that, if they're stuck in that, you kind of have to meet them where they are a little bit. But again, it's all very nuanced and specific to the like the situation that's happening,
It really depends on the person in question, because sometimes you're having to deal with their mental health more than anything, right?
Right, there's also that too to take into account. Are they of sound mind? Are they not? Do they deal with things like schizophrenia, or what is their reality?
And even if they do, like, they can have experiences that are paranormal too, like we do as well, even if we're not schizophrenic, right? But you do have to look at like how their behavior is going and what they're doing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a lot of times, like when I talk to which is a lot of people default to Catholic folk magic. I've just noticed, like, a lot of people in my circle that I know, a lot of people often default to that. Probably because everyone kind of knows it. Like, everyone knows of a saint. Everyone's heard a saint's name. You know what I mean? Like, something like that. So, and so I guess in terms of like a default paradigm that a lot of people may default to of combating something would be that. But again, it's one of those. That's where, like, I hate occultists in a way, because when we're talking about our paradigms and the currents in which we work, sometimes our ego gets too infused into it, right? And so it's like my tradition.
Just sometimes,
right? Just sometimes. I'm trying to be polite, but like, it gets infused into what they're doing, like the ego of that. And so it becomes, my tradition is better than yours, my method is better than yours. And it's like, no, your method is just better for you. That's all. We're not ready for that conversation yet, though, as a community, as a whole, I don't think. people of the internet.
People of 2024, I hear you. Do you hear me, though?
What I really want to see in our community is use the internet for good again, please. Use it to organize in-person events in which we're getting together and talking face-to-face in some capacity. Use it for community building. Use it for resource sharing. Use it for good. Please stop using it to stalk people and drag people. And honestly, if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably not going on the internet and doing that. So good for you.
Hell, use the internet to form an RPG party and go fight God.
That too. Just literally anything but what most people are using it for. Yeah, just kind of been one of my takeaways with existing at large right now.
Just I'm trying on a new dress that I got from last night, and it actually fits the one that I was worried might not fit. Super cute.
I have this problem every time I order like a jacket. It's always too long in the sleeves. I can never find something that fits me in the sleeves. I got a gut, but then short arms. Wow. Custom clothes. But we have been going on for almost an hour. We're coming up on like 50 minutes in a bit. I know we're all kind of really low on energy, so I don't want to sit here and try and
scattered episode. I mean, I don't mind chatting a little longer, but a little more, but like it's up to everybody. Honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty tired. I do need to actually get some food. We've been all over the place doing a million things already today, and I just need to kind of recalibrate.
Yet again.
Food. Yeah, with no food. So, any sort of concluding thoughts? Kind of vibes, feelings, things we want to...
Free Palestine, and free Palestine again, because we didn't say it last week, and I do believe we still have that person on the Hail Satan tier.
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember if they suspended it or not. I don't know, I can't remember. But we always love any support that we've gotten either in the past or current or in the future. So, honestly, that whole conflict over there is very layered. It's messy. But at the end of the day, I think what it is we don't like genocide here is really what it comes down to. Genocide is fucked up. So, free Palestine in that regard. And also I will reiterate again, I talked about it last time. I'll probably talk about this for a good long while. Mother Grove Goddess Temple down in Asheville, North Carolina. I'll say that again. Mother Grove Goddess Temple. That's Byron Ballard's organization. If you don't remember, or if you heard, whatever, Hurricane Helene obliterated Appalachia, and they are in dire need of stuff. Mother Grove Goddess Temple is collecting donations, all kinds of stuff. Go on their website, pop it into Google, it pops right up. They need supplies, monetary donations. There's an Amazon wish list. So anything that you can spare, or just, sharing the word, will be helpful. So with that, I think we're probably going to log off here, and we will see you all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.